I know I think God has so many voices for us and the tones in his voice toward us as we sit with him. And probably one of the things that feels more like him as he's talking to me, and I'm the child, and he is saying to me, "I love watching you. You're doing a good job, and it's really all going to be okay. You're a good girl." So when I imagine that that's my longing to hear from my heavenly Father, I love watching you. Um, there's such there's no anxiety in that. Um, and there's just such deep delight in the Sally Breedlove little girl. And so if I could do it all over, I would. I did. I loved my children. I delighted in them, but I would lead with delight and just love because it's the truest picture of who God is. And I was worried often and over functioning and thinking I could make everything better. And with grandkids, you get a bit of a do over to just go,
Yes.
I just think you're awesome.
Hmm.
I love watching you. That's I wish I'd known that, but I needed to hear God's voice saying it to me. That took a lot of years to hear.
I'm in such a similar place. I just admittedly was for a lot of my years a perfectionist and a pleaser, and those can be such toxic. They are such toxic things. I wanted my children to look perfect. I wanted them to have the best grades. I wanted them to be the best athletes. I wanted our home to be orderly. I wanted all the things to be just so. I felt even though I knew once I came to Christ that I didn't do it, Jesus had done for me what I couldn't do for myself. I still felt like I needed to get a lot of things right. And there was a verse from Sally, where is it? I will rejoice over you as singing. Is that Isaiah or is that in Psalm?
Zephaniah.
Zephaniah, yeah.
Zephaniah. Right. Zephaniah 3:17.
Yep.
Exactly. The card just flipped in my brain. It's not a computer anymore. It's a Rolodex. But that when I don't know how many years ago it was that really hit me, that, that the Lord your God is in your midst. He is mighty to save. He will rejoice over you with singing. That just was like, oh my gosh, how can that possibly be? I needed to know that more about myself so that I could do that more with my children, just like you said, Sally. I think I was too much I loved them. They knew I loved them, but I think I was a little bit too much of a taskmaster in some ways. I know they probably all had a sense that they needed to prove some things. And not that you don't want them to be accomplished and achievers and
Right.
responsible and all that, but there's a tiny shift of attitude in it, I think, that could have been pretty profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, to lead with delight. I love that. I'm going to be thinking about that a lot because there is such a balance between like you have to learn to do school well and you have to learn to be a leader and to be kind to people and to be responsible and like like that's our job to teach them those things.
That's right.
But it's really easy to be like, and these are all the important things and be a little
Mhm.
taskmaster
Mhm.
master, but to lead with delight.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we can very easily pause and ask ourselves, like, am I teaching and leading my kids with delight as I'm guiding them to be more responsible? Like, that's a very easy, practical thing to do that can give that tiny little switch. I love
Well,
that.
and and the backup to that, the precursor really is what you said, Sally. You're knowing that the Lord, your God, delights in you.
Right.
And for them to know that not only do we delight in them, but God delights in them. And I think that's the most important thing we could teach.
Yeah.
Don't you think?